Hi guys, and welcome back to another championship prediction video. Last time out we got one score correct, Rotherham beating Huddersfield 2-1. Let's see if we can get some more correct here, but before we get into the predictions, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more championship content. Let's get into my predictions. Starting off with Huddersfield up against Preston. Now neither of these sides are in great form. Huddersfield probably a little bit better at the moment, even though they lost their last game 2-1 against Rotherham. I think with Preston, they keep the score quite low, and I fancy them to nick a goal, so Preston to win 1-0. Interesting tie with Norwich up against Luton. Norwich have lost 2 in a row against Preston 3-2 and Watford 2-1. Luton have only lost 1 of their last 10 matches. Very good form at the moment. And I fancy them to get something here. Now they beat QPR 3-1, which I didn't see coming. And I think they've got enough to win this one. But I am going to give Norwich a bit of credit. I think, they've got a very good squad. And I think they'll get something. So points shared, 1-1. Swansea up against Reading now. Swansea had won 4 in a row before losing 4-0 to Burnley. Reading, decent at home this season. Lost their last game, however, 2-0 against West Brom. And they've lost 2 in a row. Are they going to start falling? I don't think they'll fall too far. But I do fancy Swansea to get the win here. So Swansea to win it, 2-1. Blackburn take on Sunderland next. And interestingly, Blackburn's last 10 games have alternated between loss, win, all the way up to their last game. It's now landed on a loss. But I don't think that'll be the case. Sunderland won their last game 2-1 against Wigan. But I just feel that Blackburn at home are a good side. So I'm going to favour Blackburn to break that little spell of alternate win-loss and get a second win in a row. Blackburn win 1-0. Stoke up against Rotherham now. And Stoke have got some very good results as of late. A draw against Burnley, a win against Sheffield Utd, then a win against Preston. They're in some decent form. Rotherham won their last game 2-1 against Huddersfield, but before that they were winless in 4. I think Stoke are going to get all 3 points here. Third win in a row, 2-1. West Brom up against Bristol City, and that second win for West Brom finally came at the weekend, 2-0 against Reading. The first match without Steve Bruce, and it ends in a win. So it's good for West Brom. They should start to climb the table now. Bristol City have only won 1 of their last 7, drawing another and losing 5. So not in great form. I do always fancy Bristol City to score, but I think West Brom will have enough to get through this. So West Brom to win 2-1. A game I'm very excited for next. Blues up against Burnley. Now Blues are in decent form, only lost 1 out of our last 7, 2 wins in a row, 3-0 against Bristol City and then 2-0 at the weekend against Hull. Some good results there, 2 clean sheets. I'm feeling very confident about Blues, maybe not so much about this game because Burnley are in very good form, only lost 1 game this season, top of the league. And they went top after the 4-0 battering of an informed Swansea at the weekend. So Burnley are very, very good. And I feel like they might finally be clicking in terms of finishing games off. Because there were a lot of draws, but 2 wins in a row. 4 goals against Swansea. I'm a little bit worried about Burnley. But I'm going to be optimistic. This is the best I've seen from a Blues side in years. Eustace has really got them together. We look brilliant at the back, which we can never really say. We look very solid. Harley Deans came in, 2 clean sheets have followed. I've got a feeling we're going to get something out of this. Now, it's probably very optimistic, and Burnley will probably trash us 4-0 like they did to Swansea, and then I'll look pretty stupid. But I've got to back Blues with something. So Blues to get a point in a 1-1 draw. Blackpool take on Hull now. Good results for Blackpool recently. A 3-1 win over Watford, a 3-3 draw with Sheffield United. Didn't see either of those results coming, but some very good points. Hull, they've lost 7 out of 8. They look very poor. They lost 2-0 to Blues at the weekend. I'm worried about Hull. They need to snap out of this, or they are going to be in trouble. Blackpool to win 2-0. Coventry up against Sheffield United now, and another second win of the season for Coventry. 1-0 over Cardiff at the weekend, and they've had some very low scoring games as of late. Sheffield United looked unstoppable, but they've now went on a 4-game winless run with 2 draws and 2 losses. Bit shocked. I thought Sheffield United looked so good early on that they were just going to run away with it. Maybe not just them, but be pretty clear top 3. But they've started to slip up a little bit, looking a bit vulnerable. Seems to be after the international break that they've struggled. And I'm just wondering now whether they can put their foot back on the pedal. I'm not sure. But I've got to back them. What I've seen of Sheffield United this season, they've been good. They're up there for a reason. And Coventry, although they've played less games than everyone else, they are near the bottom of the table. So this is more just based on the table so far. Sheffield United to win 2-1. QPR take on Cardiff now. And Queen's Park Rangers, they have been in very good form, only losing 2 out of their last 10. But they did lose their last game 3-1 against Luton. Cardiff, not in great form. Lost their last one 1-0 against Coventry. And I've got a feeling QPR are going to flip that scoreline that they lost by last week and win this one 3-1. Wigan take on Middlesbrough now. And Wigan in their last 8 games have won 4, lost 4. Their last game was a 2-1 loss against Sunderland, and they are much better away than they are at home. However, they did win their last home game 1-0 against Blackburn. Middlesbrough don't look any better now than they did under Chris Wilder. They've only won 1 out of their 3 games since Wilder left, and they lost their last game 2-1 against Blackburn. They're not looking great. I'm worried about Middlesbrough, to be honest. I don't think they'll be near the relegation zone by the end of the season, but they were really hoping to push on and go for the playoffs properly this season and maybe try and challenge automatic promotion. I can't see that with the way they've started. And I'm going to go for maybe a bit of a shock here. Wigan to win 1-0. And finally, Millwall up against Watford. Now, Gary Rowett's side are very good at home. We know that about them. They're normally high on draws, but this season they've been very good at home, not too many draws. And they've actually won 3 in a row at home and scored 2 in each of those games. They've also unbeaten in 3 with 2 wins in a row, so they're in good form. And luckily this one's at home because they're not great away, but this one benefits them. And they're against the Watford side that bounced back from that 3-1 loss to Blackpool with a 2-1 win against Norwich. Very strange. I'm not sure what to think of Slaven Bilic yet because they batter Stoke 4-0. Then they lose to Swansea 2-1, lose to Blackpool 3-1, but then they go and beat Norwich 2-1. It's strange, but I'm going to go the Gary Rowett way on this one, 1-1. So, those are my predictions for these upcoming Championship fixtures. Make sure you let me know what your predictions are down in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any more Championship content. And up the Blues.